Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else will do like you do. That's why I spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, don't you understand? Love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give it all day long.
It was February 20th, 2021. It was a Friday. To this day, I try to sit and ponder about the details of what happened, but I don't know.
911, what's your emergency?
I wasn't the driver. I was in the passenger seat. And me and the driver, we talk, and she honestly also doesn't have too much of a memory of the details that happened. But next thing I know, I woke up in the hospital. It was almost like it was a Lifetime movie scene or something that you saw in the movies for sure, but I woke up and I knew that I was in the hospital. I knew something was wrong. But the only thing that I recall saying out, I wasn't by myself. Is my friend okay? I mean, because just think, like, wow. The doctor telling you, don't worry about it. But he said everybody was okay. Your friend is fine. You need to lie down. After that, I woke up in a waiting room with different clothes on, the hospital gown and a neck brace on, and I was laying flat on a bed. Didn't know what time it was and didn't know the next step. When I woke back up after being transferred to another room, I remember the nurse came in and she came in and I was just like, I need to know how long I'm gonna be here. Am I gonna be here for a while? Because that morning, Saturday morning, I was supposed to have a wax appointment. And I was like, I can't do a no-call, no-show in the midst of COVID. Like, I need to make sure I'm there at my appointment. And she told me, you're gonna be here for a while. And I said, okay. I need to call my mom and let her know. But what happened? And she tells me, well, you were in a motor vehicle car accident, and I'll get a phone for you to call your mom. She brings me back the hospital cell, and I'm calling my mom. Well, I think I'm calling my mom, and I kept getting the last digit wrong. And this man, he was like, baby, I'm sorry. This is not your mom, but I really do hope that you get a hold of her. So the next number that I recalled was my friend Autumn. I called her, and I remember her tone was just what I needed it to be. And I was just like, hey, can you call my mom? I'm in the hospital. I'm gonna be here for a while. I was in a car accident. And she said, okay. And from there, the nurse told me that I broke both of my legs and that I wasn't gonna be able to walk for a while, and that they were gonna transfer me to my room. So that was day one. So I spent 12 days in the hospital. And so I was admitted on a Saturday, and my first surgery was scheduled for that Monday. for that Monday morning. So they kind of prepared me or guarded my legs so I wouldn't move too much, kept me comfortable. And I just remember I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a mirror, and just wondering what I looked like, but too afraid to ask, and honestly probably too doped up to remember once the question faded to bring it up and ask again. But I remember that Tuesday for my first surgery, I couldn't have my mom there with me. It was something going on with my COVID results, so they wouldn't allow me to have visitors. So I remember that was a scary thing. That was a really scary thing I've never been through surgery before. I've never broken a bone, never had a hospital stay. I've been to the ER once in my life, and I'm almost 30. So I wasn't sure what to expect or what to do. And I was really nervous, and I remember the nurse going to get the chaplain for me. You know about them chaplains in hospitals. I wasn't sure, who taught him or who raised him up to be a follower of God. So either way it goes, God bless it. The chaplain came and prayed with me, and it was a beautiful thing. It was almost a surprise to the chaplain, in a sense that I knew the Lord. I prayed along with him as well. It was what I needed at the time, for sure, before I headed into surgery. So I go into my first surgery. All is well. That was my ankle. I fractured my ankle in 3 places, mostly on the inside of my leg. First surgery went well. I got cleared to have visitors, and immediately the love started pouring in. I remember I got there Saturday, and by Sunday morning, my job already sent me flowers and a Goodwill card. So I thought that was beautiful. Sunday, I still couldn't have visitors yet, but I remembered my friend Jamal made a way to give me some flowers and a card. And that was really sweet. And then once I was able to have visitors, it was really crazy of the people that showed up, honestly. And not to say that I was surprised or I'm not loved or something. I knew I was loved and cared for, but to see the amount of concern, it really gave me comfort. I would say it definitely gave me comfort, and that is when after my maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, after my first surgery, I had my surgery on Monday, so maybe about Tuesday or Wednesday, after my last visitor left, I remember sitting there and I was praying, and I asked the nurse if she could give me a piece of paper and a pen, and I remember writing down my prayer and just saying thank you to God for keeping me. So in all of this, I knew when I woke up where I'm at that I am blessed. How fortunate it is to be alive and to still be here and not have any, permanent damages or anything of that nature. But let me tell you about how my God took it a step higher. Yeah, I am favored, privileged, and you can't tell me no different. You can't tell me no different. My mood, my spirit, my smile, my joy has not been broken. I look a bit of mess in the mouth. Don't worry about it. But I'm blessed, y'all. Continue to pray because I need them. I knew no matter what the path or the process would be, I knew that it would be okay. It was a feeling that fell over me, and I just sat there, and I'm crying now, but I wasn't even crying in the hospital when this happened, but I just sat there with a smile and just reflecting on how blessed I am to still be here and to know that it'll be a process, but I'll be okay. And just looking on the window ledge at the flowers and the cards. I had a friend who brought me books, brought me some good books to read. Another friend who lent me his iPad. Hospital cable is horrible. Definitely want to make sure you have Netflix. So shout out to him for having all of the streaming apps on there. It was just the little things like that really meant a lot. My friends, we had routine FaceTime calls, and that was pretty cool too. I was probably doped up. I really don't recall too much of the conversation detail, but I remembered just the consistency of love that I felt. And the prayers over the phone. My village is strong, man. My village is amazing. And sitting here just sharing this story, there's no words that I can ever say that will, I think, really give off what that time in that hospital was for me, and the care and the thoughtfulness of what people showed me what it meant. Second surgery. Okay, so that was the first surgery. The second surgery, I had it on my right leg. I broke my tibia plateau. It's right underneath the kneecap. But I broke that, pushed it forward, and when I got surgery for that, supposedly thought surgery went very well. Got back to my room and my toes started to get cold. And after my toes started to get cold, my legs started to swell. And I was like, okay, well, that's probably common from getting surgery, right? So I talked to the nurse, and the nurse was like, it's common, don't worry about it. We'll keep you comfortable. And I was like, okay. But then my leg looked like I just got it waxed, and I kid you not, my leg was not shaved. So something was wrong. I ended up having compartment syndrome. It's basically, fluid doesn't know when to stop. So before it has the ability to kill veins, vessels, or whatever, they take you back for surgery and they cut you open like a hot dog. So all of that pressure can relieve itself. So because of that, I had to stay in the hospital for another 5 days, which was cool. It wasn't really. It made me miss the premiere of my debut in my first film. If you haven't saw Black's Crack, go on YouTube and look that up, please. Just throwing that there. missed that debut. But have no fear. That following Tuesday, I think it was maybe March 3rd or the 2nd. But that Tuesday, I was able to go home. And that first day home was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, first day, amazing. First night, rough. I just remember being uncomfortable. When I was leaving the hospital, I ordered somewhat of a makeshift bed, like a twin size foldable bed. I thought that the living room would be the best place for me. I wanted to be by the food. My room is definitely all the way in the back of the house. And I couldn't use the regular bathroom. Yeah, let me throw that in there. I used a bedside commode for 3 months. That was exciting. Kind of weird also at the same time. So the first night was absolutely uncomfortable. I stayed on the couch my first night, and I remember the dream team. The dream team consists of my god sister Ani, and my dear friend Tyrus and brother Jordan. And those three stayed with me day in and day out for those 3 months that I was at home recovering. And I remember after the first night, we all knew that sleeping in the living room was not going to work. It was uncomfortable. I requested immediately for them to send that makeshift bed back. Please send it back to Amazon. I don't want it. So how are we gonna make my bedroom work? So the dream team, Mother Bear, got together. Maneuvering around the house wasn't that bad. It honestly, I allowed it to be a part of my morning routine. You know, once you wake up, I need someone to dispose of my night bag. And then it was just the goal of getting up and maneuvering to get into your wheelchair. Being in the hospital doing that was somewhat more easier than being at home doing that. It was like the gravity and all of my blood is now going back into my legs from all of the surgery. So it was as if I was holding 200-pound pigs or something in my legs. So I made maneuvering around the house part of my daily routine. It was a task. It was a workout. I remember some days it was a little bit more challenging. Say if I wanted the lights off and nobody was around and I didn't want to bother someone to just come to turn the lights off. Frustrating. Doing something and you drop the remote. Somehow the remote rose. Frustrating. I remember my friend Gabby, she brought me a picker. It was almost like these hand tongs, and it just picked things up from the ground. Changed the game for me. It made maneuvering so much better. It was like finding new ways to challenge myself to keep myself occupied throughout my day, because staying in-house 24/7 for months at a time can really do something to your mental if you don't change the perspective and honestly make that time work for you. And that's really all that time in the house was about. We would wake up in the morning. Tyrus would cook breakfast. Ani would help me get ready. Jordan would take out my poop. And we would all pile in my room and eat breakfast together and pray. And we would always pray before I even left my bedroom. And those prayers in the morning, honestly, it protected my day. I was so serious about the energy in my home, the people's energy in my home, conversations that we had, how we all move about our day, what is going to inspire you, what are you going to do today, what can we do together today that is still productive, as I feel so stagnant being so stationary. Somebody asked me the best part of recovery. It was moments like those. My morning routine was the best part. Just to see the selflessness of them around me day after day when they weren't getting paid to do that. They had lives, things to do. My god sister was preparing to move out of the state. And that's love. That is love. So they made it the best, the best 3 months that it could be. I always had friends, family, co-workers over, really making it a good time, a comfortable time, as much as it could be. I remember it was March, that first weekend of March, and it was one of my best friend's birthday, Brittany. And I didn't want to miss her birthday party. Darn it, my life coming in and disrupting someone else's function. So I remember they picked me up. My other best friends picked me up and we celebrated her birthday, and I had my first little slumber party since the surgery. Oh my God. I was not prepared for that drive. It was only about a 15-minute commute to having that slumber party birthday dinner for her. And I mean, I was like, get me out of this car and get my feet above my waistline right now. Traveling was a pickle. Sitting down, having your legs and feeling gravity again right after that, the surgeries, that was a part of the tough moments of recovery, but also something, I don't know, awakening in the same sense, to feel your body come together again. It's crazy. Like I could feel, my blood starting to flow the way it should. I could feel the sting of my nerves regenerating again. Feeling how my body now responds to cold temperature or a quick change of the weather. As much as something can tear someone down, my perspective was, look how much I'm rebuilding myself. I can literally feel myself becoming anew. That's dope. And every day just reminding myself how strong you are and how strong you never knew that you were. They said 3 months it was going to take. And I just wanted to make sure that I was on top of my recovery. I've always been somewhat of an active physical person. I've done dance a long time. So I've worked out. I've done CrossFit before. So I'm an active person. And I was just like, if I'm gonna have to scoot from this side of the bed to that side of the bed, I need my arms to be able to do so. So we did daily workouts. We went to the park. I remember the dream team would get me out of my wheelchair and pick me up so that I could reach the monkey bars to practice my body weight. I remember just having those 2 times a day workouts of just working out my arms. I had like this exercise Pilates bar, practicing moving my toes, practicing keeping my legs down for 10 minutes at a time, and then doing some exercises and doing it again. It was amazing. Like, again, just feeling on the inside, my body coming back together again, and then somehow how that sparked motivation for me to physically just do more to strengthen myself. And as I was so concerned about my physical and making sure that I was well, what am I eating? I made sure to have balanced meals, vegetables, certain nutrients and vitamins I made sure of. I wanted to show the doctor, I'm gonna do it before you think I'm gonna do it.
Coming up next on part 2 of Purpose Driven Steps.
I feel blessed. A lot of people don't make it to the other side of car accidents. They'll start off the year. How much more can you take? How much more, Lord, do you give me? Baby, I tell you, he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna put nothing on you that you cannot bear.